hello everybody, and welcome back to the Comfort Level Podcast. I'm Maddie, and I'm here with
Claudia,
Brandon,
Sam.
I am freestyling to this song.
So
Claudia's in the building.
Claudia.
Yes.
Claudia's here.
wow.
Was
So
this here
Claudia-
the last time you were here?
Yeah.
No,
Oh, okay.
it's
We
caught
didn't
me
have
off
the
guard.
We didn't have a sound.
Wow.
This is her first time hearing the sounds.
You've gotten fancy. I love it.
Yeah.
And now we start off every episode with our guests coming up with a song that we all sing together. So
Yeah.
on the count of three, Claudia, you got to come up with a song.
Three.
3, 2, 1, and here we go.
Despacito.
Oh.
Despacito.
Escrito.
Despacito.
That's it.
There we
So
go.
that was really good. I love it.
Okay. Rate that on a scale of 1 to 10, Claudia.
That was a 1.
Okay. It's
Dang.
the honesty
One's-
for me, though.
yeah, I
It's
love
the honesty.
Unless it's hurtful, and then I don't like it as much.
I blacked out.
She blacked out? Wow,
Yeah.
it was that bad.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
And if you had to pick out a specific part, like, was it one person overall? Was like one person who did it quite
Oh,
well? The finger,
yeah, the finger says you.
Pointing at you,
her thumb
Sam.
was like angled at you.
Well,
she said-
Despacito doesn't mention anything about taquitos, so
Oh.
Oh, I was doing the remix of. There's a remix version. That's the one I was talking
I
about.
don't think it.
Yeah, it was-
No, I don't
it's a
think
pretty big one. Yeah,
it's not big enough. I think that the mics over there, at least hearing like in the headphones, you can pick them up, or you can pick up everybody's sound a little better.
Yeah.
But I remember last time she was on here, I was like, it's like smooth jazz in my ear,
yeah.
and it's still there. It's still there. Smooth
Is it?
jazz, just right in the earlobes.
Is it?
Yeah.
was it different because you couldn't see her before?
No, like I feel like you can hear better on
Oh,
those.
okay.
Yeah, it's like no amount of money could, pay for this great sound like this next story,
Wait, what? Great sound.
Oh,
amount of money.
No,
Oh, amount of money. Okay, I was like, Maddie,
took you a long-
You literally did it again. You literally
looking-
cheated on the first story.
And you're looking at the words.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So this one is not safe for work.
Oh,
Starting off,
spicy?
my 21
My bad.
my 21 female boyfriend, 22 male, said that he would put aside $5 every time we had sex, so the amount of money I get from him will depend on me. And this is from Relationship Advice.
So prostitution.
Selling your body.
Wait, how's it
Motivation?
prostitution?
He's giving her money based on how much he has
Oh, he's
sex.
giving it to her. I thought he was putting this in a savings account.
Yeah, no. You said you'll get.
Would it matter?
Yeah.
Savings account.
Yeah.
I'm sure that he's thinking about it as motivation,
Yeah, maybe.
but no.
$5 is such a small amount. You can't do that.
Okay. My 21 female boyfriend, 22 male, said that he would put aside $5 every time we have sex, so the amount of money I get from him will depend on me. We have been together for just over a year now. I was taken aback by this, but I thought he was joking because I had told him I could charge him $30 as a joke for saying that this female friend of his is prettier than me for the second time this year. Honestly, I meant it as a joke at first, but the more I thought about it, the more uncomfortable I became, the more I actually looked back on these things he said/did that I just brushed off. One thing in particular that stood out was when he forgot my birthday, which was in May. In his defense, it was his brother's and close friend's birthday on the same day, and we were at both celebrations. True, I know them, but we're not close. I also joked about charging him $30 for that too, but the whole putting aside money thing came up when I joked about charging him for the pretty comment that he made. He's not budging, and I can't tell if it's a joke or not. I feel confused as this is my second serious relationship. How do I confront/talk about this?
Man, I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm so confused.
She gave details, but she didn't give enough, I feel like.
Yeah, there's.
So he joked about it.
So this started when he called
someone
a friend
else,
pretty.
Yeah.
And she
Twice.
Remember, it happened
and
twice.
she
I'll
wanted to
charge you
charge him.
$30 for that. Then he forgot her birthday. She's like, that's another $30. And I guess he's just saying, I'll give you $5 And that's cheap. Come on, like.
He said it first because he was being petty. Because she
Well,
was
he's
annoyed.
That's why I'm still confused. How did this enter into the conversation? She was
Yeah,
just like,
where
I'm
did
gonna
this
have
come from?
$30, and he's like, I'm going to pay you $5 every time we have sex.
What? Hold on.
So I mean, the top comment doesn't necessarily give much context, but I think it makes us feel what we're reading.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I reading on this sub? Lady? And then another person said, the bar is in hell, and yet men still complain that women are too picky. So, I mean, I think that's all the context that we're going to get with that story.
I don't think those comments relate to...
No.
They don't. So let's go back to the story that doesn't have enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let's try and pick from it.
Okay, some of the things I do know, like, he doesn't seem the greatest because he forgot her birthday, which is also her brother's birthday.
And a friend's
So
birthday.
that would make me remember it
His
more.
brother.
Hey, you have the same birthday as my brother. That helps me remember more, so that's a weird reason.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been together for over a year. Something like that.
I think so.
He should know by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have a calendar notification of people's
Always
birthdays
put
that
in
you
your
care
calendar.
about?
I think there's more into the fact that he complimented that co-worker and she was
Twice.
pissed about it.
Twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
I don't think he even wants to have sex with her. Maybe that was the motivation.
Because it's like turning her off to be like, I'm
yeah.
not going to have sex with you.
Or he's like, I ain't got it. I don't have the money.
I'm broke. I'm
broke.
sorry. We can't do nothing.
I think he's gonna be single soon.
Yeah, I hope.
Oh yeah, you would really hope so. I don't think, from what I'm understanding, I don't think they're good for each other at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because for her to be like, oh, that's $30 for a compliment, why not just have a hard conversation? Or like, hey, I didn't like that. That didn't. Instead, it was like a passive aggressive type of joke thrown, like, oh, that's $30 every time you compliment her. And it's like, all right. And then it just kind of spews like, you said something about a friend once. Oh, they bring the worst out of each other. Mm-hmm. I just feel like that's just the start of this relationship. Like, it's just you guys are gonna keep. You're paying for sex now, and then later down the line, it's like, oh, you gotta pay to see your kids.
Well, especially, I mean, that was a lot. But especially what you said in the beginning about how he's not mature enough. I could probably see that because when she did bring it up, didn't she say something along the lines of how she was just doubling down? Like, he just keeps making the joke.
Yeah.
So he's not apologizing for the joke. Because if I said that to you, or, you know, your partner said that to you, and would you, like, be like, okay, let's have a conversation about this, or is that an immediate deal breaker? Because I feel like if you say that to me, I would be like, what is your problem? And then we had a conversation. You didn't apologize to me.
Would you take it as a joke though?
No, it's kind of icky.
I would try to get to the bottom of that.
Yeah,
like,
I'd be
where
like-
is that coming from?
Yeah.
I also think the worst part about Reddit is you don't get the context of the people, especially with her. It's like you don't
That's the worst post I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but it's like, what if they were just like really, really dark? Like, there's a couple I know that it's like the way they joke with each other. I'm like, that's grounds for murder. Like, y'all should be killing each other like on a daily basis. Like, this is not okay. But they're like, oh no, it's cool because they kiss and make up the next day. I'm like, bro, well, you shouldn't have to make up after a joke. But anyway, like, what do you?
Maybe that's what they're into.
Yeah.
Ooh, keep it spicy. I do think context is everything because, to your point, I think everyone's had a relationship. In your relationship, you say something, and to you, between you two, you're like, I get this. This is funny. This makes sense. But you tell anyone else, you're like, what did you say to her? What did you say to him? Like, what is happening? So I think context matters. We don't know what the stakes of this relationship is or how it works. Maybe it was a thing they established, and now she doesn't like that part of it. I'm still stuck on how we got there.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
but
me
even
too.
like the equivalent of two jokes. So she said, I'm going to make you pay $30 for complimenting a woman. And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to give you $5 for having sex with
Yeah,
me.
that's what I'm like.
Like, those
where's
two aren't
the line?
equivalent.
Yeah, where's
Like,
the
if he
line?
said another joke about like,
Why is he in
hey,
the
I saw
lose-lose?
you flirting, like talking about that guy on TV, that's $30. You know, that's
That's
similar.
Yeah.
But they aren't equivalent. So him making that joke, I'm like, not funny.
That's why I want another conversation. Cause
Or maybe he doesn't know how to joke. I know a few people.
What if he was trying to flirt? That would be bad.
Yeah. He was trying to flirt, then that's a what the ladies would call an ick, you know?
Uh-oh.
It wasn't a transition word.
No, that was just an ick for me.
Yeah.
When you said that.
I mean, we're cousins, so that's all right. You'll get over it.
Maybe that's something, I mean, I don't know if you guys do this, but maybe that's something you guys can, like, discuss over, like, Bible story, like, icks in the Bible or something, like this next story.
No, like, Eve had an ick. I'm like, Adam, like, why are your clothes off?
She's like,
that is such an ick. Put clothes on, Adam. It's gross.
Okay, so this is from r/anti-work. It's a new one for us.
Oh.
I don't know why I looked in here and I found this. Okay, boss forced me, 16 male, to have a private Bible studies in his car about porn and premarital sex.
Boss? Boss did it?
Boss.
HR?
16.
In the car.
Forced Bible study with a grown person and a 16-year-old about porn and premarital sex.
HR.
Well, where else are you gonna have it? I think that actually is
Anywhere else.
Oh yeah.
With as long as there's more people in there.
Okay. This is Chick-fil-A.
Yikes.
This is Chick-fil-A.
I've noticed your chicken making performance is a little down and kind of been stuck to your phone, and I saw the OnlyFans. I don't recognize the OF, but
maybe your
been
hand,
told about it.
Your hand wasn't so tired doing other things, you'd be able to make this chicken properly.
I noticed one bicep is bigger than the other, so I kind of had a
Strong
feeling.
right on.
I could tell it's not from being dominant.
Boss forced me, 16 male, to have private Bible studies in his car about porn and premarital sex. I started working at an ice cream shop a couple of months ago after I turned 15. Found it on a Facebook ad. They advertised $13 to $15 an hour. They hired me on the spot only to tell me the day after I started that 15-year-olds only get $7.25 an hour until they turn 16. I still stayed for some reason. I was promoted to $15 an hour 3 months later because the owner liked me. Fast forward 6 months, full of drama. The owner fires the manager and the general manager decides to leave, leaving little old 15-year-old me in the manager position 1 month before I turned 16. The new general manager was incompetent, so I had to take half of the previous GM's responsibilities on top of the old manager's responsibilities. While still getting paid the same $15 an hour, the previous manager was getting $20. When the owner caught wind that I wasn't happy about getting no pay increase for a massive new workload, he came in while I was being trained on cleaning the ice cream machines. He yelled at how easily replaceable I am and how I won't make $15 an hour anywhere else, going on about how ungrateful I am. So I planned to come in the next day and quit. I would have quit right then and there, but I don't like to be impulsive. So I came in the next day, and he apologized and told me how unchristian-like it was of him to act that way and how he promises to never do it again. So I decided to stay. Stupid, I know. I turned 16 and we neared the end of the season. Next season starts and he asked me to come in a week early and do ice cream machine maintenance. I agree and come in on Monday to start on the machines, but we didn't start on the machines. He asked me to come back to his office and brings out his Bible. He starts reading a verse and starts questioning me about sexual immorality. He goes on a rant about porn and premarital sex, making sure to let me know that he could have had all of the women he wanted when he was my age.
Okay.
I'm sure I was clearly uncomfortable, but that didn't stop him. And for the next week, he had a Bible study every day. And the days that the general manager was there prepping for the season opening, he made me go sit in his car so she couldn't hear. He tried to question me and get me to confess sexual sins to him. Obviously, I didn't say shit to this weirdo. He promoted me to $20 an hour that week, so I dealt with the BS for the cash.
For the cash.
I knew I couldn't get that type of money anywhere else, as he reminded me daily, but then the problems with the general manager started, so she was horrible, refused to work, and instead of firing her, he pushed all of her responsibilities onto me. She was supposed to do the hiring and get interviews lined up. She didn't do shit, so he asked me to do it off the clock. I agreed because I really didn't have a choice. We were a week into the season, and she refused to get out the next month's schedules. So he asked me to take over scheduling, and I agreed because that makes my life a lot easier. But the GM didn't like that. She called him for the first time and complained that she didn't have enough time off. So I fixed it and asked her if there's anything else that I should know of, about, or fix. She said no and thanked me. The next day she called again to complain, but this time the owner had me listen to it while on speaker. She continued to lie and claim that she asked me to give her certain days off, and she said she doesn't feel comfortable with her assistant scheduling her. So at this point, I had the scheduling, shopping, machines, inventory, and ordering thrown onto me, a 16-year-old, and the only thing she had to do is money, but I'm her assistant. I came in the next day and quit. They both cried, she apologized, and they both asked me to stay, and the owner promised that he would fix things. I took the next week off and came back. Nothing changed. We were planning on firing the GM and having me take over. He backed out 3 times. She started a sob story about her boyfriend being emotionally abusive, he also works there, and used it to manipulate and get her away. The owner fired her boyfriend and claimed it was because I wanted him fired. So now I have this armed man pissed off at me, who I have to see daily because he picks this girl up from work. Over the last 2 months in this season, he has started calling me at night after shift for hours at a time. There was multiple times that I was up at 1 a.m. with this dude when I had to be at work at 7 a.m. And one of those nights he asked me if I was happy with my pay. I said no, and that I shouldn't be getting half of what the GM is getting when I'm doing all of the work. With work 8 months out of the year and 30 hours a week, I was getting paid around $20,000 a year. She is salaried year-round for 45 hours a week, getting $40,000. He didn't like that. He broke out the old Bible and told me that I was dead wrong and read off the parable of the servants in the vineyard. He told me that he was disappointed with me and that I need to record this and listen to myself because I am dead wrong. Even with all this shit, I still went in the next morning at 7 a.m., cleaned all the machines, and asked the assistant manager to come in at 1 p.m. for opening, left my key and credit card on the desk, and texted him that I quit. I could have fucked him over hard, but I didn't realize. And the holy Christian man has proceeded to demonize me to my old coworkers. I couldn't care less. I found a new job getting over $40,000 a year and couldn't be happier. Fuck you, Jeff.
Oh my God. That was a
Wow.
So what about that story? The old story didn't have a lot, and this one has maybe too much detail.
There was a lot of detail.
Yeah. Wait, first of all, I just want to know who this kid is. Like,
Poor kid. Like, where are his parents?
I know.
Where's
Is
the
he just-
guidance?
is he just self-sustaining at this point? Like,
So he has school on top of this, assumedly.
yeah, or I don't know, but that just hearing him just like, yeah, I'm 16. I'm pretty much working a GM
Yeah.
position.
30
But-
hours a week?
At 16, his brain is probably just so much further than so many other people. That's crazy. He needs to
Even
get
though he
somewhere.
got screwed over immensely, he probably
Also
learned
full
a
of
lot.
trauma
Yeah.
after that.
Trauma, yeah.
He's never eaten ice cream the same.
He's never going to church the same if he goes to church.
That's terrifying.
He's never going to Bible study ever again.
Confess your sins.
At first, when you read the title, I thought it was a single time.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it kept going. Like, at 15/16, you should know better not to let that happen, regardless of the money.
No, I think people forget how you were thinking when you were 15, 16-year-old. You would take a lot of stuff because you're like,
Yeah.
he's a grown man, so I'm like, I expect him to know what's happening. So I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't know if I would have stayed that long. That's crazy how long he stayed and continued back. But I'm like, when I was 15, I'm like,
I mean, yeah. I really want to know about his home situation, his parents or anything. Because otherwise, why would he be hustling like that just for the sake of money?
Grind culture. That's why.
grind,
Wake up and
grind.
get it. 7 a.m.
Unfortunately,
We're going to work.
America.
Rise and grind. Yeah. Top comment. That guy was grooming you hardcore.
The part that got me was, I'm like, okay, maybe with the Bible study, weird about the porn and the whole sex thing, but then saying like, I could have got any girl. Like, where did that come in? Why was he saying that stuff? Like, I could get any girl I wanted when I was your age. I'm like, where's that in the Bible? I thought we were talking about Bible stuff.
I thought it
What does
came
that have to do with
because
anything?
he
Yeah.
was having something with his coworkers, but it looks like the guy was just minding his own business.
I know.
So it was not warranted at all. So.
Okay, so I have a question. Is anybody up to date on YouTube drama about Colleen Ballinger?
Yes.
Not up to date.
Not today, but I've seen
I don't
it.
even know who that is.
She's Miranda Sings.
Miranda Sings.
Okay, yeah, I know who that is. Yeah.
So she was accused of grooming, but not in a sexual way, just making.
I thought it was only sexual.
Well,
No,
because those kids were groomed and they were like manipulated to just basically work for free.
Yeah, it was just getting them to do whatever she wanted in, like, fan base.
Like be at her beck and call, basically. But I kind of feel like in a way the boss was similar to the way that she was accused of grooming Adam McIntyre, because Adam basically worked for her for free. He ran her Twitter page for like almost 3 years, I think. And then one day he got a tweet approved and she was like, yeah, it looks good. She posted it. It was basically like queer baiting. And so there was backlash and she was like, Adam, like they're going to hate me for this.
Right.
And he's like, you approved it. But even then, he was 16 years old. He wasn't getting paid at all for the work that he was doing as Miranda Sings on the Twitter page. And I can kind of see similarities with this guy. He's taking on all of these extra responsibilities and not getting paid anything for it. Like you're saying, knowing about his home situation, why is he doing all of this extra stuff to be paid $5 more? Do you think that is worth it in some circumstances? You're taking on so much more mental load, so much more like job responsibilities.
Not unless you really, really need to. Like, maybe in those Bible studies, it wasn't so much about the sex and the porn, but maybe he was getting into his head about having to be there for him and having
like
to
serving.
work. Yeah.
Okay.
So instead of you messing around and messing with girls, you have to be here growing to be a proper man. Maybe that's why. Yeah, you need to give me all of your time.
All your time, because you're learning so much from this. You're getting so much benefit from this.
Yeah, what are you
I don't
learning
need to
from
pay you.
masturbating? You're not learning anything from that.
But like making this ice cream yourself,
Yeah.
you could be working that arm in a different way.
Yeah, I agree. So we're on the boss's side, is what we're saying.
No.
No.
That's what I'm like, where are we landing on this?
No.
Feel bad for the kid. He's a hard worker. He shouldn't have stayed that long.
Well,
there were some creeps that were around him and older people taking advantage of him, clearly because he was young.
The GM lady.
And his safety was compromised too.
Yes. Yeah.
With a coworker.
That's why we gotta get out of here, man. You're getting threatened. This is nuts.
Maybe he came from a single parent household. Maybe single dad.
Like this next story. Oh my God, Claudia!
That was too smooth.
It was. I was like, I hear her doing it, and no one's reacting.
I was looking at your phone like, look at it.
I was like, that was really good.
Yeah.
See, sometimes they're too smooth that I don't.
That's
so if you
good.
could add like this next story, because then my muscle memory will go there.
Okay.
Because Sam did
That
that
was
for like
great.
the first few weeks, and they were so smooth. I'm like,
Okay. Yeah.
and then he's like, click the button. Click the button. I'm like, oh. Am I the asshole for lying about why I'm a single dad to someone?
So for what?
Lying about why I'm a single dad to somebody.
You're lying
Yeah.
because you murdered your wife. Yes, you're an asshole.
Oh my
You killed your wife.
0 to 800.
Okay.
You're like, no, she's somewhere. You're like, no, you killed her.
So you're saying he is?
Yeah, exactly. You can't murder your wife and then say you're a single dad.
You're really jumping the gun there, Sam. But I mean, you
I'm
might be right.
I'm right.
Completely unrelated to what Sam was saying. I'm gonna just say no. Just in
So
spite
you're
of
on
Sam.
the side of a wife murderer.
No, I'm gonna just say no. Just in spite of Sam.
You support
I don't
murders
care
of
about the
wives.
story. I just want to say no specifically because Sam said yes.
I just want to note it here. I do not support the murder of wives.
You do.
I saw Barbie and I'm a feminist now.
I, 25 male, am a single dad to my 5-year-old son and daughter. Their mom is alive, but left me, and I have full custody.
Wait, that's the first line. Your theory is out.
That's very telling that you're the friend
Right
she's
now.
dead. She's gone.
My wife's alive right now.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I had to buy groceries, so I had my kids next to me. An older guy was behind me in the line and started asking me about them, and I should have just said that I was watching them or something, but I told him that they're my kids. I don't look old at all, so of course he just started judging me like people love doing. He ended up asking asking where the mom is, and I almost just said at home or something, but I'm tired of being judged, so I made up a lie and said that their mom died. In parentheses, he says, she might as well be dead to me. He looked horrified
Dang.
and mumbled something and walked away. Thankfully, my kids didn't know what was happening, so I finished and left. This morning, I was on the phone with my sister, and I told her about it, and she got mad at me and told me that I went too far, and I got a reaction out of him for no reason. I can understand that, but I'm really tired of being judged for being a young parent, but maybe my judgment is clouded. Am I the asshole?
It was a stranger.
Yeah.
I don't know how it hurt.
Yeah.
If the kids had listened, yes.
They're like,
Mom's dead. I just saw her.
But they didn't. They were just
Yeah.
being kids. So
Yeah.
Yeah, strangers, get out of people's business.
Mhm.
Stop
Yeah.
asking
Quit being intrusive.
questions.
you ask, you get it. So
Yeah.
Don't.
If he would have said it's a prank, bro, after he's like gone and like out of the way, it would have been completely fine. I think it would have been okay actually.
If
Like,
he whispered.
it was a prank, guys. You know,
To the
prank
kids?
culture. No, to the camera, like for YouTube or something. It's
Oh.
like, hey, it's a prank. I got this old guy that was being intrusive. And then I told him my wife died, but it's a prank. It's fine after
and then the
that.
kids hear it the second time, they're like, what?
Mom's dead.
They're just in the background like, oh no. But
Okay, pose for the thumbnail. Mom's dead.
they just snap out, just like
Just
getting
real tear.
There's actual tears. They're like,
He's like, all right, calm down. We'll FaceTime her right now. She's alive.
but dead to me.
yeah, as long as he's not like an honest person. He's like,
Yeah.
I said she's dead, so now I have to kill her just to make sure that.
Stop.
So
What
I
is it
did
with
my-
you about this murder?
He said she might as
Plot.
well be dead to him. So he is going to kill her. I actually want this story to get out so we talk to her. Watch out for this man. He's coming for you.
If you have a 5-year-old kid,
Two.
and then
2 5-year-old.
I'm assuming twins. I didn't catch the.
Yeah, I think maybe twins
They
because
have to-
he doesn't say
unless they're
daughter's
project
age.
twins.
I'm so glad I didn't drink anything. Your delivery to that was just wild.
He sort of did a spit take on me.
Yeah. I was like, thank God I didn't drink nothing. I gotta wait to drink on this.
I mean, I agree with Claudia. I'm like,
This
doesn't harm anybody. Maybe it makes him think twice about asking people about
Right.
stuff like that.
I'm all for lies to strangers.
Okay. Top
It
comment,
doesn't matter.
not the asshole. Top comment, not the asshole. Where's the mom? I don't know. Alien abduction, travel through time, quicksand, nosy strangers don't deserve your life story. Somebody then said tragic baking accident and then refused to offer any other details. Just, that's all you say.
Tragic baby. I'm just imagining seeing someone with their kids. I would never even ask them anything. Like, you just see a man with 2 kids, you're like, why are you with those kids? Who are you to them and where are their moms? That old man came with some energy. They were like, yeah, I would say she's dead.
Yeah.
And you're next, bud.
Are you murdering your
I
wife?
feel like I would never murder my wife. I told you I've seen Barbie.
You and your old lady too. There's gonna be an old man and a dead woman like this next story. I got an applause for that one.
I clicked both at the same time, so
I got an
yeah.
applause for that one.
Never given applause.
So what is it, dead woman?
Dead
Dead woman.
My 30 female fiance, 40 male, is having an affair with a dead woman.
Oh,
From relationship
It is
advice.
It was
Necrophilia.
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 yeah,
Oof.
it absolutely is.
Is this a
Which is that cheating?
This is relationship advice.
relationship advice?
That's
Oh,
not
wait.
cheating,
Yes.
right? If they're dead.
That's weird that you're having relations with a body,
Well,
a dead
can't-
body.
Well, it's weird, yes, like gross, but is it cheating?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe it's more in the spiritual sense, and maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay, yeah. All right.
I just don't think necrophilia is cheating. I just want to put that.
That is the wildest thing I have ever heard you say.
And I think most people should agree with that. Making love to a dead person is not wrong.
What did you say?
What did you say?
Sam's takes are getting more scarier.
I said Sam should go to a psychiatric ward.
Making love to a dead woman is not wrong.
What did you say, Claudia?
I just want you to stop.
She supported me in it. She was like, yeah.
No.
Just cut to Claudia's camera.
It's
Just
on record.
Yeah.
It's on record.
It's just her horrified face. Just
okay. My 30 female fiance, 40 male, is having an affair with a dead woman. Here's my dilemma. Do I postpone my wedding and give us a shot to work this out, or do I run for the hills? I'm wondering if I'm completely missing his perspective on all of this. My fiance, 40 male, and I, 30 female, have been together for 9-ish years. A year or two through our relationship, we spent some time apart, and I felt he had an inappropriate relationship with a coworker, both realtors. We ended up getting back together, but he continued to sleep with her during the first few months of us trying to work things out. We did work things out. The infidelity isn't as big of an issue for me as it is for other people. I quickly felt trust with him again, and things were great. The issue of the affair has rarely come up since we talked through our resolution years ago. 6 years later, we got married. Almost a year after that, his mistress died. Excuse my cold tone with this, but to me, she's not a good person, and I will never see her in that light. I found out that she had a fetish for taken men, and she played a big role in the end of 4 others' marriages. My fiance went to the funeral and spoke at her parents' request, despite me expressing how hurtful and disrespectful that it was in my eyes. In the months following her death, he has participated in fundraising held in the honor of this woman. I have continued expressing how hurtful and disrespectful I find his involvement in all of this. I'm capable of and have been moving on and forgiving him for this original affair, but when he keeps doing things that bring it to the forefront of our relationship, I can't help but feel hurt by it. There is a messy history there after all. I feel like I have sacrificed so much, sat back, and been the one to bend and compromise on everything surrounding her in these situations, and I can't see anything that he's compromised when it comes to it. All I see is an inappropriate and disrespectful emotional connection to his dead mistress. There was a small fundraising dinner in her honor the other night, and this is where things really hit the fan. I again expressed my feelings on the situation, especially since he didn't tell me until an hour before he was going to leave to attend. He said I need to get over the affair and stop holding it over his head, and I need to figure my stuff out. He wishes I could see his perspective because I wouldn't have been upset if I stepped back and saw his side of things. Yet he couldn't articulate his perspective. He also said that he was sick of my meritless threats after I said that if he was going to continue to have an inappropriate emotional connection with his dead mistress and bring it to the forefront of our lives together, that I couldn't live the rest of my life like this. He says that he has the right to honor a good friend and that she's always had his back even after he chose me.
what?
This has really caught me off guard the past year. I thought there was no connection to her anymore, and I also thought that I had a partner that would care enough about my feelings to be willing to change some of their actions. I know I would feel awful if he came to me and said that something that I was doing was hurtful to him and he found it disrespectful. I'm getting none of that from him.
Yikes.
Hey,
Well, at least it's not necrophilia.
it basically is.
It's not.
Seems like I'm into it
Yeah.
though.
Sounds like I would.
Yeah, I think one of my opinions, always in cheating situations, I feel like people get way too mad at the other person in the relationship, more mad at them than the person they're actually in a relationship with. And so I like that she was like, they worked through it, like they had worked through the cheating and all that before. So that was her job, is to get over it and work through the trust. His job is not to like rub it in her face. And you can't go to your mistress's funeral. I'm sorry. I didn't know that had to be a rule, but it has to be a rule now. If you cheat on someone and you stay with the person, you can't go to their funeral.
You can't go to a fundraiser
Yeah,
for her
you
dad.
can't
Go to a fundraiser.
He's leading the fundraiser for
A
someone.
good friend?
Yeah, you can't
She
do that.
was really good to me.
That's what I'm like, because usually I'm like, hey, you decided to stay in this, so you got to deal with that. I'm like, no, he's
No.
throwing this in her face, man. Bro, you're doing the wrong thing. Yeah, I don't think you're the asshole in this situation.
Especially because from experience of hearing about dealing with the mistress, you don't want your partner to ever mention this is from somebody who couldn't get past the cheating. I'll say
Right.
this: you don't want your partner to ever mention their name or ever mention what you did with them ever again. You don't want them to have any more connection with them.
Right.
And if you do go on to to continue a relationship with them, like she's saying, you don't want it's severed at that point. You're done with them. It's you and me at this point. So yeah, the fact man, that's so hurtful.
And
They were friends.
it makes
after?
it worse the fact that she's dead and he's still choosing the mistress over her.
Yeah.
Yes, who are you doing this for?
Yeah.
Like,
What do you gain now?
and he was probably not the first. He was the fourth. So he was not that special. But he's really
But she
messing it
must have
up.
put it on them. They all there. All the men she drew in, they're all fundraising.
They're all
Get in line. We
They're
all.
like, what is this
Wait.
woman doing?
Can you hit that theme song? Okay, here, I got it. Hey, his heart got buried in that casket too.
Another applause? What is this?
Yeah.
What is the audience in here to do?
They love it.
That one whoop.
Oh, that's really bad. I feel.
I'm not.
I feel really sorry for her, and I think she should return her wedding dress, like in the next story.
Whoa, my God, Claudia!
See, she's too smooth with
Yeah,
it.
she's really smooth with it.
Claudia might be the best transitionist.
What'd you say?
Claudia might be the best transitionist.
Gracias,
Claudia's
gracias.
way too good at transition.
She's too smooth with the transitions.
Gracias.
Oh,
Gracias a todos.
Bringing in the bilingual podcast.
So wait.
Uh-oh.
Wait, okay. So we got the transition stealer. No.
It only happened twice.
No, Sahdia.
Oh.
No,
No, you're the transition cheat. She's the transition thief.
no, she's a transition criminal.
Yeah.
Smooth criminal.
Who, me?
Smooth criminal. No, Sahdia is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sadia's transition smooth criminal. Sam's most underrated.
Yeah, I really got one in today. This is a bad day for me.
Transition king. Yeah. Yes, truly.
Still don't think that's okay.
So transition king, transition thief. What was Claudia's?
No, transition smooth criminal.
Transition smooth criminal.
Yeah.
Anything you want now. Anything you want now. What is done transitions? Anything you want now. Anything you want now. Just steal their transition.
I'm gonna make it like a list. I'll come back to
Yeah,
it.
come back with it. Change yours from Transition King because I don't think that should be it. I think,
I've named him
I
transition
know, and I
king
didn't
already.
like it then.
He's
and
been
I don't
named
like it now
transition
that you're
king
like,
multiple
well,
times.
putting it
it's
on.
majority rules.
And you guys will always win because you're a couple, so it'll be always two.
Someone
against-
else said it.
There's 5 people in here.
Okay, let's all take a vote right now.
Sadia has to get on camera though.
So
Yeah, come here, come here.
Oh,
Oh.
oh.
Okay, so we have Sadia here.
Yes.
So we have 5 people.
Where does she come from?
I don't know.
From the air.
Did you take your band-aid off for this shot?
I did.
Okay. All right. So, what are we calling Brandon? Transition King or something
Yeah, we
else?
gotta vote. Do you agree with the Transition King
Transition
nickname?
King.
Yay or
Yeah.
nay?
The
Transi-
king of transitions is what we're trying to say. You know?
Transition King. Yay.
Transition King nay.
So then, what would the name be?
I don't know.
So do you get to name yourself?
He is good at transitions.
He's good at transition. The king is like
Sadia, you're out of the
right
shot.
Oh, I'm
back
sorry.
on.
You got to talk in the mic too.
He is good at transitions.
Prince. We'll give him Prince.
So is this all because you want to be Transition
I don't
King?
want to. I don't think I don't deserve transition.
What's yours, Sam?
We don't even have one for me.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
What was mine?
The smoothest transitioner ever.
What was mine?
He says you're smooth criminal.
Yeah,
I think
smooth
Claudia
criminal.
should be smooth criminal. She should be transition
She
thief.
stole like
She
3
should be
transitions from
transition
me.
cheat. That's where I'm dying on a hill. Transition cheat, transition thief, smooth criminal.
Sahdia makes sense for transition thief because the amount of times that Sam is literally talking and she's like,
taking it from me.
Yeah.
I'm in it and she's taking it
I
from me.
literally have to start screaming.
she just yells louder than
That's
Sam.
thievery. She's robbing
I do.
my transition.
And you know, I do it again.
Yeah, I know, and I love it.
Yeah.
I ran. I just broke
I'm an
the
unapologetic thief. That's what y'all got to know.
transition thief right there.
She just transitions our next story
Yeah,
somehow.
she takes
Like
it
this
away.
next story.
Okay, all right.
supposed to be in this episode.
Thanks, Sahdia.
Sahdia just pops up to steal a transition.
Am I the asshole for giving future mother-in-law 3 days to pay me for a new wedding dress, or else I show the family a photo of her wearing it?
Oh. Oh.
Yikes.
Wow.
That's such a threat.
So
Shows
blackmail.
violence.
So I'm getting married to my fiance soon. I bought my wedding dress weeks ago. My future mother-in-law kept pestering me about trying it on, but I firmly refused. I finally shut it down after she offered me $100 to let her try it on. Her reasoning for persisting so much, she says that it's because of her love for wedding dresses and her obsessions with them.
Off to a bad start.
Yeah, that's bad.
Fast forward to yesterday, I came home from work early and I found my fiance at home. He freaked out after seeing me and tried to prevent me from going in my room while trying to text somebody on his phone. I opened the door and was shocked to see his mom standing there wearing my dress. I instantly pulled out my phone and took a photo of her in it. She and my fiance freaked out after I told her that she needed to pay me for a new dress in 3 days or else I'll show the whole family the photo. She started crying and then left, and my fiance blew up at me saying that I can't be serious and that I overreacted because his mom just wanted to try the dress on. No harm done. But I refused to listen to him because, in my opinion, the dress should only be worn by the bride and the bride only. Quite frankly, I felt disgusted looking at the dress again. Again, I don't want it anymore. I think it's fair that she pays me after she ruined it for me. He yelled at me and told me to wake up and stop treating his mom like this as if she was an enemy. We had a fight after he failed to get me to back down, and he's been staying with his mom since then.
Oh my god.
I felt awful, but I spent $3,000 on this dress and worked hard to get it. I can't stand looking at it, but people in my family think I'm escalating things and risking my relationship with not only my future mother-in-law, but my fiance as well. And there's a little update at the end. Is the son in love with the mom?
100%
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, it's like
Mom,
a...
try it on.
Yeah.
Mom,
Go
let me
ahead.
take a picture with us together.
We call that mamitis in Spanish.
What is it?
Mamitis.
What does that mean?
Mamitis.
Yeah. So, mama, mom, itis, inflammation. Like you're sick, not being with your mother. That's
Mama's boy. Yes.
some medical terminology, but it just means
Yeah,
like your mom's boy
yeah.
to the bone, and that's bad.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh, you looking kind of good in that wedding dress. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, send me the photo while you're at it.
Let me see that.
I just feel like it's weird all over. Like, she was obsessed with trying the dress on.
Yeah.
Was trying to pay him, and I don't understand why the son isn't on the wife, the fiance side of like, just mom, just leave it alone.
He's a mama's
Like-
boy.
Well, yeah, but and then defending his mom, they like, no, you can't come in here. My mom's trying on your dress.
Because he knew it was wrong.
Yeah.
They were trying to do it on the sly, and then they got caught. Like, I don't think they were meant to be caught.
Why didn't you just go to the store?
Mhm.
Like, try it on without causing any harm. If you're that obsessed with dresses,
Yeah, trying a different
Yeah,
dress.
go to David's Bridal. They'll love just like, I'm getting married.
I'm getting
They're like,
married.
Chick, you're in here every week saying you're getting, and you haven't bought anything yet.
I don't like anything.
That's a strange obsession, though.
Yeah, that is a weird-
What, like,
I think it's a lie. I think it's she wants to wear the dress that her future daughter-in-law is going to wear. I don't know where the weird correlation is in the head, but I think it is the mama's boy
Subconsciously.
syndrome, where
Yeah.
it's just, there's
But
just
like,
something
you're
about
a
it.
grown person. If someone tells you no, you can't wear my wedding dress, like that should be it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can't.
and she
wear it.
offered to pay $100.
That's
That-
Might as well
that's where
pay
it's
the
like-
$3,000 and keep it.
Yeah,
That-
yeah, you can have
there
it.
you go.
You can have it.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's yours
Yep.
with your son, man, husband.
Yeah. Would you want to stay with your partner after they defended their mom for trying on your dress?
That's weird.
That is weird.
Like, if it's something as simple as the dress, I can't even imagine. She's probably one of the type of moms that wants to go into the honeymoon with Dan.
Just to supervise.
I'll just sleep in the middle of the bed. I can spoon my son and you can spoon me. Totally fine. Totally biblical. So.
Ooh.
Oh my god, dude! Just imagine if it, like the roles were. Imagine if it was like a father doing that, just like trying on a tux.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
No suit should make your man want to spend $100.
Yeah, that does actually make it different. You're like, yeah, I want to try on your suit. I need to. I'm obsessed with it.
I love wedding suits. Like, I just gotta try on the tux.
Literally looks like every other suit. Like,
let me try on the tux. It's that one specific. I will give you $100.
It looks like every other dress. Why do you need to try my dress on? Okay, so there's an update. Oh my god, this blew up, and so I thought I'd add some updates. My fiance called and offered to pay for the dress himself so we can end the conflict, but he wants me to hand him my phone so he can delete the photo himself, swear that I don't have any copies to use against his mom later.
Oh my god, this is a hostage.
Apologize to his mom. And lastly, he asked that I quit his family group chat and log out of Facebook for at least a month.
Wait, what?
I haven't responded yet. P.S. He called with his offer/conditions hours ago, but I didn't want to include this in the first post, but now I did. Also, I'm not sure if I'll agree because I don't want him to pay for it. I want his mom, the one who wore it, to pay for it. Not being vicious, but trying to hold her accountable.
Y'all off to a bad start. That's a
crazy.
weird
I'm gonna need you to
triangle.
log out for a month.
For a
In
month?
my family
Such a
group
weird-
chat.
Yeah, that's such a weird
So
time.
weird.
They're gonna talk
Why?
about you for 4 weeks straight, just in that group chat. They're going in.
And the mom and him are going to be flirting back and forth in the chat, just uninterrupted now because you're gone. They're in love with
Did
each
you see
other.
how good I looked in that? Yes, you looked amazing in that
some
dress.
pictures like hearty emoji, like fire. Oh,
I
Mom,
see
you're
you in the
fire.
gym, son.
Yeah.
I see you with that selfie.
Oh,
This is weird. I don't like any of this.
they should call it off. No. Like, he's imposing so many things over something that his mom did wrong. And he's not he's trying to take accountability, doing it just not the right way. Why do you want her off of Facebook for a month? She can go back to see the post after that month.
I think it was something.
Weird.
I think it was something you mentioned earlier about how it's like the mom is probably going to keep doing stuff like this, or was it you or maybe Brandon? But I think this is a big red flag of how much control she's going to continue to have in their lives. Like when they have kids, oh, that's my baby, that's my
like that.
baby, or I don't know.
Post stories or post about upcoming events.
Before it's safe to post
Yeah.
about it. And
I'm just grossed out. I'm usually joking about this. I'm actually legit.
Yeah, I'm like so weirded out by
wait,
this.
Sam
This is
has the
violating.
ick
Yeah,
for
I really got
once.
the ick for this, and the update didn't help. Because before I'm like, you shouldn't get divorced, but you definitely need to have a conversation. But his demands are so weird. Oh, you got to get out of this.
Because did it say log out of Facebook too? I heard the group chat, but did he say log out of Facebook too? for a
Log
month?
out and don't get on it for a month.
Well,
Don't
you
get in the
tell
family
me
group
that I
chats.
can't.
Like,
What if I just?
Because she wore my dress, I'm getting punished.
yeah. Because you weren't okay with it. You didn't let us do what we wanted. You were gonna post what we were doing on the low. Now we're mad at you. So I'm just listening
Just
to what
because I
mommy
asked
said.
you to film me making out with my mom, and you were like weirded out by it.
I was like drunk. It was.
Yeah.
She looks like
It
you.
was a dare,
It was an accident.
Yeah.
I slipped.
and you're getting all uppity about it.
I
was
thought she
dark.
was you.
It was dark.
It was
So
dark.
which is better? Cheating with the dead woman or cheating with your mom?
Anyway, so
Definitely right. The dead
So-
woman's better, right?
No.
all I know is
you think
if
cheating with the mom is better?
Well,
Cheating
primarily,
with your own mom?
I would. I don't even know why I'm entertaining this, but
have
you can
to.
get. I think can't you get a disease from like kissing a corpse or something?
anyway,
Yes, but
Let's legitimately answer this question.
I don't know why I'm entertaining.
So I want everyone to have an answer. Which is better? Cheating with your own mom or cheating with a dead person?
I think if I was dating somebody like you and he brought up this ultimatum, I would be leaving him destitute like this next story.
Okay, now that we got that transition on the way, let's really answer this question.
Would I be the asshole if I left my fiance destitute? So that means, again, broke, leaving them with nothing.
If you left your fiance destitute?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want to.
It's just the same person.
Yeah.
Different story, different title. I might not be in the right state of mind right now, but I had to get this off my chest. 2 days ago, I came back from basketball a little bit early, and I overheard my fiance, Jay, telling her friend that she is settling for me. This friend just got out of a relationship. I don't know what they were talking about before, but I just heard Jay saying that after all the assholes she's dating, settling for me will be good for her. She then went on to describe my job and all the perks of being with me. Love is apparently not on the list. Hearing this kind of broke me. I just stood in place, dumbfounded. I don't even think she loves me. For context, we live in a beach house. I bought it as a total gut job and renovated it myself, and I have several other properties that are all rented out. I work in property insurance from home and do house flips on the side. I'm satisfied with what I've accomplished so far in my life. All of this was worth mentioning for Jay, but not how much I loved her. How much time we spent together, not how I tried to be supportive of her goals and ambitions, how she wanted for nothing. I'm not going to lie, I was in a bad place. Maybe still am. I spent all of last night going through her messages. I knew her password, I just never looked. Well, I guess it's a pretty common thing for her to say. Pretty much all of her friends know what's up. Jay wants a nice, normal guy after all these assholes that she's dated. She wants a drama-free life where she'll be taken care of. Every time I read what she really thought about me, it was like another needle was being jammed into my heart. My first reaction was to yell at her and confront her about it. My second reaction was to make her suffer like I am.
Whoa.
My dear Jay, the love of my life, I thought, doesn't work right now. She quit to be a real estate agent. I don't know, maybe she wanted to learn more about real estate. Maybe she thought her looks would get her by. She doesn't work right now. 0. She also lives in my house. She decorated it and certainly put her touches on everything, but my name is on the title. Just mine. Her car is technically mine too.
Oh.
She didn't qualify for financing it on her own, and she just had to have a Beamer, so I co-signed it. I can probably make a case that that's my car. We don't have joint accounts, thanks to the Almighty himself, because she did ask. I pay her cards right now. I just want to show her the text, throw her shit in garbage bags, and put her out on the street. Would I be the asshole if I did that? And there's a update to this too.
I think he has to talk about it before he does anything. They're not married yet, right?
Mm-mm.
They don't have a prenup.
Mm-mm.
The Beamer too. That's what? Why would you do like a Beamer at an alt thing?
I like how that's your takeaway from this.
Why didn't you get up?
She's like, you think I could just crawl by? And I was like, yeah, you could probably crawl. And I was like, it's probably just gonna be discreet. Like she's gonna come in.
I was just watching the entire way.
She started all the way over there, and I was like
why did she start right there? I get being hurt by hearing what she said. Like, you would hope that she's in love, but I think her reasons are probably like viable reasons that a lot of people are in a relationship. I think those are things that can sustain you. Like, he's dependable, he's nice, he's not an asshole, he provides for me, he's hardworking. It seems like those were the kinds of things she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts to hear because you're like, I want her to be madly in love with me, but I think those reasons, I agree with Claudia. I'm like, you should talk about it before you like go into this massive
I think
ending.
he's really bent to the idea that she's just a gold digger.
Mm-hmm.
But she could have a career if she wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So is she really gonna settle for the nice guy or the gold?
Mm-hmm.
So I think they should talk about it before. Well, I want to hear the update before I.
Okay. Edit, holy shit, I did not expect so many responses. Thank you everyone for your advice and kind words. I will talk to Jay sometime over the weekend. I think she picked up that something was up. I didn't call her from work like I usually do, and the last couple of nights I made an excuse that I was beat and went to bed pretty early. I'll try to read as many replies and provide more information, but I wanted to clarify a couple of things. Regardless of how shitty I feel, I didn't like people calling Jay nasty names. It's partly my fault. I didn't give enough detail. Before quitting, she had a decent enough job. She's not good at managing money at all, but she would buy stuff for the house or gifts for me on special occasions. I never thought of her as a gold digger. She talked to me about quitting and trying to be a real estate agent. She told me she liked the freedom of the profession, and I tried to be supportive. Secondly, I don't think I misunderstood her meaning. Maybe she didn't mean it as a negative, but the messages were crystal clear. She settled for me. I mean, I get what you're saying, right? Like, those aren't necessarily negative things, but if you're going into a relationship where you're expecting the main reason for some people is that they love you, and
It's
to
like
find
a
out
fleeting thing. Love isn't
for you, but if you're going into a relationship, you find out that somebody doesn't even really care for you like that, maybe because from what he heard, she didn't mention anything about love. So for you to be like, I can understand how he feels like she in a way might be just using him to get herself financially good and stable and protected and taken care of, and he's like, I want more than that. I don't want you to just kind of, I don't know, like, not take advantage, but
I think reality really hit him because maybe up to this point he could see that she was trying. She was decorating the house and trying to do what she could with her career and whatnot. So maybe he thought that the love was like there, more present than it actually was. So maybe that's what is hurting him so much, not so much on the financial level of, oh, I'm getting taken advantage of, because it looks like she's not a gold digger, but they are definitely not in the same level, and they should have a conversation.
Yeah. I guess when you're talking to your friends about your relationship, are you telling them like, I love them so much, or are you just telling them
The facts.
Yeah, the facts.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I would get. I'm not like, I love this person. I love them so much. Oh my gosh. But maybe people are doing that. I just like, I've never done that when it's just like assumed almost.
What? Say what you're saying again.
So
Like-
when you're talking to your friends about your relationship,
Yeah.
and actually usually when you're telling your friends about stuff in your relationship, it's usually not the best things anyway.
True.
But you're not telling them like, oh man, I love them so much. You're not using those words of love and those kind of things, or are you?
I do, but
what about the phrasing, she's done with assholes and she thinks settling with him would be good? Because I think her exact words were, after all the assholes she dated, settling with me will be good for her. So hearing those words, like, you're literally saying that you have a higher standard, but because I can give you different things and I'm not your initial type, you're gonna keep me.
See, I'm one of those people who don't think settling is bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people have such. I'm not mad at people having standards for what they deserve and they want in a person, but I'm like, some people have such standards. I'm like, you are not going to reach that. So settling for something more realistic, like, people want Beyonce. If I settle for some girl in Nebraska, you don't.
Right.
You kind of get what I mean? Because I'm like, settling
Yeah.
is not bad. You're like, this is more realistic. This is someone, I still love you. It might not be the standard that I
Did she say that though?
She didn't say that. But I'm like, I can't think that she doesn't love him. It's just the words that she's saying in these texts that he's read.
Yeah.
Maybe not express it. Maybe she doesn't love. I don't know. That's why you definitely need to talk to her. Do you love me? Because if you don't love me, then this whole thing.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
a whole other update post. I forgot about this.
Oh, is it?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Does it tell everything?
Yeah, it tells more.
Okay.
I will say, though, I do get where you're coming from completely,
Mhm.
and I think I agree with Claudia more, and I'm like, and you guys were saying the same thing, but I'm like, I think I can understand how that would be hurtful if I overheard Brandon being like, yeah, I mean, like,
No, I
tried
get
with
the
other
hurt, for
people,
sure.
Yeah,
and,
it's-
like, I
Yeah.
think Maddie would be good for me. It's like, that in
It's
and of itself
condescending.
is hurtful, and I can understand how he feels, where he's like, do I even want to be with her of all the stuff that I offer her?
You would want someone to be like more excited.
Yeah, like
happy. Like it's not like a
I'm
I
the
have
prize.
To, yeah.
Yes.
What?
You are, Sam.
I'm the prize. Don't settle for anybody because I'm the prize.
I just the last few times I've heard "I'm the prize," it's always been in those red pill contexts. So I was like, wait, what?
Oh, really? Is that a thing?
I need a high value woman.
Well, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. But a lot of people hated the stuff he said, but I'm like, that was the main gist of what he's saying, especially towards men. They're like, you got this weird level of what you expect in a woman, but you ain't offering nothing. Mm-hmm. You should settle because you're not going to get what you're trying to attain because you're not bringing anything to the table. And I think that's like a real statement on both sides. He also had problematic things to say too.
He did.
He did cuss out like a dude that was like 200 something pounds. That one was hilarious.
Yeah,
I was gonna say something, but now I kind of forgot it. Oh yeah, it's like the whole thing of wanting versus getting to, like, or getting to versus having to, like mentality. Like, if I was like, I get to hang out with you, Sam. You would like that better than I have to hang out with Sam. So it's like in that same vein, it's like you saying I'm settling is kind of like saying that I have to get with this guy. So it's like,
I
why
think
is that
different
fair?
mentally? Because I'm like, in my head, I could be settling. Mm-hmm. I'm still not dumb enough to say it out loud. If I'm with my partner, I'm like, I would never say that to you. I would still show outwardly, be like, in my head, I'm like, this is good for me, I'm settling. But it's still, I know how hurtful it would be to say, I'm settling for you, because that is an awful thing to hear.
But I think also with settling, it's kind of, because I get what you're saying too. Like the whole, like, I don't know, like you want the supermodel, but
you want the supermodel who's rich and
could take care of you.
I'm like, boy, you don't work out. How are you going to get a woman who works out? You look like a tub of lard.
But it's like, I don't think. Well, especially like when you find love, it's not necessarily settling. It's compacting or not. What is it like? Compatibility, or like you don't fall in love with the person. You create the process for love to fall in love.
Brandon is a poet.
Oh.
Dr. Feelgood.
Poetic justice.
Poetic justice. Poetic justice. All right, I'm going to read this update, and since we're close to 8, this will be the last thing that we read, and then we can talk about this, and then we'll close it out.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Update. Would I be the asshole if I left my fiance destitute? Thank you to everyone for your advice and kind words. Here is the update. I talked to Jay. I told her how I overheard her talking, how she is settling for me. I told her how that felt and what kind of mood I was in after. She had tears rolling down her face as I was telling her how I felt. She didn't say anything for a bit. Then she just said, "I'm sorry." It was true. When we started dating, she just heard from a mutual friend that I was great and that she should give me a chance. She said in the beginning it was about feeling safe and feeling like she could be supported and loved. In the beginning, it was just being with somebody who had their shit together and would be good to her. Eventually, she fell in love. She loved me dearly. This didn't make me feel any better. I told her about the text messages. This is when she got angry. I was an asshole for going through her messages. Violation of privacy. Betrayal of trust. How dare I? I didn't set out to get her password. She's just extremely careless with it. She hits remember password on anything, and when she types it out, she hits show password first. If you happen to be glancing at the screen, you'd know what it was. That's how I found out. I never thought to use it until that day. Eventually, after going on about reading her messages, she stopped and was sobbing for a minute. Finally, she goes, "What do you want me to say? I can't help how I feel." I wasn't the type she'd go for before. She's still attracted to those type of guys. She's just older now and knows better. That's why she settled with me. She loves me and wants to spend the rest of her life with me. That doesn't work for me. I told her we had different ideas about what a relationship, especially marriage, was. The trust is broken for both of us. I went through her messages, and she settled for me even though I'm not her type. This is where we go our separate ways. We agreed eventually that She'll stay with one of her friends. I'll move all of her stuff to the spare bedroom, and when she finds a place, I'll help her move. She can keep the car. I was just being an asshole about leaving her destitute. She was crying from the moment we started talking, the moment we went into separate rooms. It wasn't easy seeing her like that. I wanted to go and hold her, but it had to be done. When I closed the door to my room, that's when all the emotions washed over me. I was bawling the whole time. The sheets still smelled like her, and I couldn't or didn't want to change them just then. I feel shitty, and I won't be okay for a while. But I'm pretty certain I did the right thing. I read a lot of comments on the old post, and it shocked me. Truly, I was taken aback for how many comments I saw from women that did the same thing. They settled for their current significant other after going through a bunch of guys that they thought were more their type. To me, that's super fucked. Like, if your partner knows and you're both cool with it, fine, I guess, live your life. But to me, that's gross. If you settle with your significant other for safety, comfort, financial calculus, that's an arranged marriage, no? You want the benefits of an arranged marriage without any of the obligations of one. If you can pull it off, more power to you, but that's not something that interests me at all. I also read a whole bunch of getting a prenup. I understand the thinking, but I don't want that. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but starting a lifelong commitment with a plan on how to end it doesn't seem right. I guess it's something that I'll have to pay attention to going forward. Thank you again to everyone. If there are any updates to be had, I'll post.
I don't. I'm glad he did it for him, for what is good for him. I don't really agree with his line of thinking.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
It was good for him.
It's good for him.
What do you not agree with?
Like when he was talking like all these women they had these relationships where they had these men that they were attracted to, and then they settled down for people. I'm like, I feel like that's being young. You're young. You're attracted to people.
I think that's what the comments were saying.
Yeah, in the comments.
Yeah,
but he was like, oh, for you that's fine. But I'm like, isn't that just an arranged marriage? Which that's even a whole nother thing. I'm like,
yeah.
That's what normal relationships are. You like get in a relationship with people, you learn more about yourself, you learn more about what you want in a relationship. You're attracted to a thing. You find out that might not be the thing for a sustainable relationship. And you learn, and then you're like, it's the use of settling that I think is the part that he hates. I think you're learning like, I might be attracted to this, but this is not going to be something that's geared for me to having a long-term relationship. So I'm settling for this thing that's better for me in the long run. That's what I think is fine. But him saying it's like a negative thing, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the word.
I think it's the word.
You date exciting people, but they suck. They steal your car. They run. They like sleep with their mom and stuff and sleep with dead people. But then you find a real man who's nice.
You can't say that.
All right, does anybody have anything else to say before we close this out?
I was going to say that, I mean, him... I was stuck on the Beamer for a little bit, though. Like, the fact that he left that with her, I think that's going to screw her over in the long run because Beamers stay more in the technician shop than they do on the actual road. So that's going to be tough for her. I just hope she figures that out sooner than later. Trade it in.
Do you guys see what I was trying to say, or am I completely off base right there?
It was the dead woman in the...
But the general gist of it, am I crazy, or...
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
It's such a negative connotation behind settling. It's like you can't shoot for the stars, so you aim for like the atmosphere type thing.
I think for him, she was really up here, and maybe he thought the same of himself to her.
Oh.
So maybe that's why it's all crashing down. I think when they met, he had no idea that she was just trying him on just because he heard that they were great. So maybe, he has multiple properties, he has money, and he's nice, so he really thought that he was up there, and he was hoping to be seen the same in her eyes. So maybe that's why
hurt him and crushed him down.
He was an asshole for breaking the trust and the privacy like that.
Yeah.
But after all, he actually loved her, so I don't think that he was actually gonna take everything away from her. But they just wanted different things.
I think in your example though, if that was truly like because I'm guessing she's an attractive woman, and he was like, I got this attractive woman, she's in love with me. Then he's still doing the same thing to her. He's like, you're validating, you're beautiful. That validates me, and that's something I'm looking for to make myself feel better. You're doing the same thing that she's doing with security and money. You're doing the same thing with her. Is that wrong or no? They should get a paternity text like this.
All right, well, we'll see you guys next week when we talk about this paternity
transition in this
test.
entire episode. I needed to say something.
Because we have Claudia as the guest.
Yeah, the
so.
smooth criminal over here.
Smooth criminal.
Gracias. Hasta la próxima.
Oh,
I like what she said.
Espanol.
Bye.
Right. But we'll see you guys next week. Claudia, can you close us out in Spanish?
¿Qué quieres? What do you want me to say?
Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week.
Gracias por escucharnos. Nos vemos la semana que viene.
Ooh.
Adios.
Adiós.
Adios.